Hey everybody, good morning, or it's morning to me. This is Tina with Rehatch Designs, and I was working in my Shabby Journal that I had started a little while back, and I'm going to try and maybe get it finished this weekend. But I just thought I'd turn on the camera and do a little craft with me, nothing earth-shattering or new going on. This isn't really a tutorial, this is just I'm crafting, so I thought I might as well bring y'all along with me. The other thing I wanted to say is I put some tutorials out there, and I want to make sure that people realize that those ideas are not original to me. In my mind, I think I've seen multiple videos using the same type of techniques, and I honestly can't remember where I saw all the different things. So if I do remember, I certainly will give that person credit. Specifically if I see something, but a lot of times when I do things, it's just things I've seen over time and from different people, and then I just kind of have my little take on it. But if I do see something, especially recently, I'll try and remember to do that. I tend to watch my YouTube videos late at night before I go to sleep, and so they kind of all blur together to me sometimes. But anyway, I'm going to get to this, and this is our journal that I started originally with. This is our Shabby Journal that we sewed together, and we haven't really decorated it. We've made some tags for it and things like that. And I was going to work on some things in this journal, and then also probably maybe even finish some of our tags. Remember, I think in my tag thing, I told you I separate things out and kind of put them in little bags, and that's kind of how I put them together. So anyway, that's kind of what I'm going to do today. I think first I'm going to do some stuff in this journal because I really have done nothing with it, so I thought I'd bring y'all along with me. An easy way to do your journal is, before you sew in your pages, to go ahead and decorate a lot of your pages. And that's really how a lot of people do it. And I have done it that way before. But for me, sometimes I just think I like to have the journal already made up to decide where I want things, and I don't have any problems decorating it that way. Now, there is an issue if you're going to be sewing on the pages. Obviously, it's kind of hard to take this whole journal to your sewing machine, although I will say I have done it. But for our purposes, we're going to do it this way simply because I think this is kind of easier in your mind to decide where you want to put things. And then y'all can decide on your own how you want to do it. And I kind of think it's easier this way to do it when you're starting out, because it's a little harder to take your decorated pages and sew them in than it is the undecorated. So I think that's kind of why I showed y'all how to do it this way, because to me this is easier. Now, I don't know, it may be easier for other people to do it the other way. And there's tons of videos out there to watch. Like I said, when I do things, I'm doing them at, it's basically a lot of times a combination of different people that I watch. And in my mind, I'm, just taking that information, and then coming up with my own twist or how it works for me and that type of thing. So, like I said, these are things you just kind of have to try out on your own. I did do a beeswax tutorial, and I did want to say that there's a lot of other ways to put beeswax on your cover, but that's the way I did it just because I didn't have any other equipment. And I saw somebody do it with a heat gun, and then I thought to myself, you know what, I have a heat gun, so I'm going to try it that way. And it was really not hard, and I think it turned out well. So anyway, that's what I'm going to do. Go ahead and try and just work a little bit in this journal. Okay, the first page, I didn't really do anything. This is just lace that I had put on the cover. And so I thought, well, I think I'm going to just put something here. And the way I do my journal, and this is, like I said, just the way I do it. I don't go from page to page and fill as I go. I kind of look around and I think, well, like we had made this tag, and I think this is where I want to put it. You know, it's not, you know, etched in stone or anything, but I think that's where I want to put it. And I'll paper clip things that I think where I may want to put things, or things that I need to address. Like this is the other half of our envelope that we put in there. Well, I definitely am going to have to do something with that. And I have an idea. I think over here I want, and I also too, if I have two signatures, I usually won't put the same element or the same type of flip or whatever in one signature. I'll put maybe one in one and then one in the other. And again, that's just personal preference. That's how you do it. You know, if you want to kind of even it out. But there's not any junk journal police that are going to come out and, you know, say something to you if you do, you know, the same kind of flip on one, or, you know, it's your personal preference, but that's just how I do it. Okay, so on this page that I have this tag that we made, I kind of want to do just a little corner pocket. And this is something that I got off of the Graphics Fairy. And there is a lot of stuff out there that you can get for free, and digitals. There's so many digitals out there that are just absolutely beautiful, but digital kits. But in this journal, I'm kind of just doing a hodgepodge of things. I'm not really doing any one, you know, kit. So I'm just kind of, like I said, I like things to coordinate but not necessarily match all the time. So it's kind of how I do things. But, you know, anyway, this, and then again, that's personal preference. But I'm going to put this in. This has already been cut out. Now you could just take a little triangle piece of cardstock and do the exact same thing. This is on pretty heavy cardstock, but I like mine to be a little bit heavier. So what I will do is I'm going to back this on something, and I have some leftover pieces from when we were doing our envelope journals. And I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to see how that looks on here. Well, I don't know if it's going to be big enough. Oh yeah, I guess if I do it that way, yeah, it'll fit that way. And then that way the backing, it'll have a little bit of a decorative design. I mean, I just have a lot of extra cards like this, so I figured I might as well use them. So then I think that would make it heavy enough to put over here. So that's the first thing I'm going to do, is I'm just going to take, and I'm using my glue stick just because I think I've already gone on and on about this glue stick, but I really, really like it. So I'm going to do that. Anyway, I hope everybody is having a good weekend. It's the weekend here. Today is Super Bowl, and I'll be going to a Super Bowl party later. So I thought I'm going to get a little bit of crafting in. I've got a few things I need to do around the house before I go. So I always try and line up one edge so some of my work is done for me. But we'll be doing that. I don't really have an interest in either team, to be honest with you. But there'll be a lot of good friends there, and it'll be fun. So I'm kind of looking forward to it. I haven't got together with my friends for a few weeks, so I've got some buddies that I just love hanging out with, and it's just always a good time when I'm with them. And of course my husband's coming, and our husbands all kind of get along, and they kind of do their thing, we do our thing, and we always have a good time. We really do. Anyway, so I've made this a little bit thicker, and I'm going to go ahead and do the score lines here so that I can fold it so it can fit, and this is how I'm going to put it. And then hopefully this tag will this will fit right in there. But I'm going to decorate this also a little bit. I don't want to just put it on there like that. Now you could of course do that, but, and you see, put a little bit of a decorative edge on there that you won't really be able to see, but I figure I had it anyway. So okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put the score lines in this, and I have a little mini score board, and I keep it on my desk just as a little helper for me. Of course, you definitely do not need a scoreboard for this, so let's see if I can get it to where I can see the line that's supposed to be. So I'm going to do that, get that kind of, it's not, let me do this side, see if that works better. And I just do that so that I can fold it easily. Like I said, you definitely do not need that because there is a line, and you could definitely do it without that. And like I said, you could just take a piece of cardstock. Also too, on a lot of these videos when I explain things in detail, I'm just doing it from the standpoint that I have friends and they wanted me to do tutorials on junk journals, and that's why I even started making videos to begin with, is that I had enough people asking me that I thought, well, I don't want to, you know, and it just seemed like too, we had a hard time getting everybody to agree on times and things like that, and it's not something that you can really just show somebody, you know, that you can just show somebody in maybe 1 hour or 1-2 hour session or whatever. So I thought, well, this is a great way to reach those people and help them out. But I'm going at this from a standpoint, from their point of view, that maybe, you know, they do a little bit of crafting, maybe have done a lot of paper crafting, but they haven't done any junk journaling, or not a lot of it anyway. And so I'm kind of coming at it from that point of view. So I kind of explain things that way. So for some of you that may be very boring, and you're certainly welcome to find something more interesting. But that's just how I'm doing it. So I'm trying to keep that in mind. And like I said, I do a lot of teaching different crafts and things, and I have found that, you know, more details and explanation are usually always better than less. So for the people that already know it, you know, just don't pay attention to it. But there's usually always people in there that haven't ever done it, and they usually need more explanation. The reason I like the pockets with the little flaps on it too, rather than just taking a, you know, a piece of paper and gluing it down, this gives you a little bit more room in there for your tag. And see, this is kind of a bulky tag, so we want it to be able to go in there. Anyway, I'm not going to just put this down like that. I'm going to go ahead and add things to it, ink it up a little bit. So let's just, I'm going to put this aside so while we do all that. Anyway, this is kind of my process, and I'll go through the book and I'll put things in here or there, and then I'll go back in and go page by page and decide what else it needs and that kind of a thing. I don't really have any magic formula of how I do it. I just don't, you know, that's just what I do. So, and I'm doing it this way just because the people that I've talked to that are trying to do this all are wanting to know, what's your process, how do you do it, Now see, I know this needs lace, of course, because everything needs lace in my mind. So I think I'm just going to put that there. So I'll do that. So that is kind of the standpoint I'm coming from, or the view that I'm coming from, is just to try and get this to where people can see my process. And you know, everybody's going to come up with their own, just like everybody comes up with their own way of doing things. You know, there are some things that are probably very specific to certain people, certain kind of flips and things like that, or envelopes and all that. But for the most part, a lot of this stuff is just different ways of doing the same thing, and it's pretty hard to keep track when you're watching a bunch of videos of what you've watched. And I do try, and especially if I see something very recently, because that old information in my brain, I honestly couldn't tell you where I got it from. It's just there. And a lot of stuff too is, if you've done scrapbooking or mini albums and stuff like that, there's a lot of stuff that I think kind of lends itself to this. You know, that you take that information and you combine it. If you've done other crafts, you know, how it just kind of all comes together, I think, at some point. You just... Anyway. Alright, so I think I'm going to do that. Look, see, I covered up all the roses that I'm putting on there anyway. I almost want something else there now. There's not going to be anything left by the time I get done. I probably should have put that down lower so you could see the roses, huh? Let me see if I can move it. Oh. Is it in there too tight? Oh, good. Alright, this is my little glue eraser, and I should be able to get that off. If it's not, if it is, then I'll cover it back up. But yeah, I think it's coming off. That's what happens when you're talking and crafting and not paying attention to what you're doing. I will have to say, it does take a heck of a lot longer to do my crafting, having to explain things. So I hope y'all appreciate that, because I could get a lot more done without talking to you. But I enjoy it, and I really appreciate all the responses to my videos and all the wonderful comments, and you know, I really appreciate it. It's very affirming, and like I said before, it's very, very hard to, you know, put yourself out there. See, that'll be better. Yeah, that'll be better, because I covered all the roses. That didn't make any sense, did it? Okay. So I will do that then. How about that? Or maybe something else. I don't know. See, now I'm all confused. Y'all got me all confused. Let's see. Gosh. You would think I would have like a snippet. My jar, this thing's getting really big again. So, ooh, maybe I'll just do that. Maybe I'll just cover the whole thing. Right? I can cover the whole thing. Can you really see anything if I do that? Let's see how it looks with the tag. I just go off in all these different directions. This is going to be extremely boring for people, because I can't ever make up my mind. Now I'm just confusing myself more. I should probably do a live. I'll have to figure out how to do that so I can get some input. And that's another thing. It's pretty hard to come up with new twists on things too. So at some point, just need to, let me see if this would look better. See, now I'm back covering the whole thing again. Oh, I have an idea. I know what I'm going to do. Let's just stare. Remember I told you I keep my little bowl of stuff sitting here? I'm going to just do something, put something on here. Maybe a heart? No. I could do a heart. Could do a flower. Could do lots of stuff. Oh my goodness. How about a butterfly? What if I just do a little butterfly? I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to do that. Completely changed my mind. Maybe do that. It just needed a little something. I don't even know if that piece of lace is going to cut it anymore. I think this one would be better, a little thicker. Okay, so you can see why it takes me so long just to do one journal, because I cannot make up my mind half the time. But honestly, that's kind of why I enjoy doing it, I think, is it does, the process does take long, but it's the decision making and okay, so I'm going to have to put it about right here. Trying not to cover all those roses, because that's apparently what I did not like with what, but see, it's at a corner, so that's not going to look good. Let me put my book over here and see how it's going to look. Okay. Yeah. Okay, that's going to be like that. So this angle has to be the same. You get what I'm doing here? I don't want this angle to be different than the other angle, but, and that means I have to come down more. Yeah, I think that's it. Okay. See, this is why I got this cap in my mouth right now. This is why I like using the smaller bottles. I got this bottle because I ran out and this is all I could find quickly. But the smaller ones, to me, you don't have to wait as long for the glue, you know, to come to the top when it starts to go low. So, where's my butterfly? I'm going to ink that butterfly up a little bit. He's too new. We need an old butterfly. Okay. And I know he kind of blends in a lot, but I think he's kind of what it needed. Let's see. Oh, maybe he needs to go that way. Maybe? I don't know. I really wish I could hear you guys, because I know you have an opinion. I want that to go off, but not that much. There we go. Oh boy, more glue. It's getting all sticky now. Gotta deal with this glue situation here. I love this glue, but I'm telling you, it is very messy. Okay, so now we're just going to put this in, and I think I'm going to call it a day on that. You can see why it takes me so long. These big journals take me forever. I mean, just forever. I cannot make up my mind, and I don't have a plan. I do like a lot of tags and things ahead of time, and that does help, but it's still a long process. And you know, and like I said, that's not a bad thing. I actually think it's a good thing, but I hope people appreciate when they see a journal how much time and effort that really goes into this. I mean, it takes a lot. It takes a lot of work. So Make sure I'm still in frame here. And go up a little bit more here. I think I'm doing a lot of stuff. Hopefully I didn't do too much off there, so. Okay. So I put that, oops. That is not going to stick, is it? Do that. Okay, so on these craft with me's, guys, this is not a tutorial. This isn't, you know, anything more than me doing what I would normally do. And like I said, this can be totally boring to some people, so you can find other things to watch. So if you just want to learn things, and you know, what my process is, this may be kind of interesting to you, but this is just kind of what I do. So anyway, that's in there. So this was the tag that we made, so that's going to fit right in there like that, and I'm very happy with that. Got a butterfly there, butterfly there. I think it looks really cute. So then again, you know, we could just take another tag. We could put this in here. Maybe I'll put that in there. I don't know. But for right now, this is the one that's going to go in there. So we will put that guy in there. So then I will go, and we had decorated that up earlier, and we put some little tags in there. This is just an envelope that we did, and put a flower, and I think I added a few embellishments later. And this is just a long tag, and I think we did that together. This was made, if you remember, out of, and this works so good, out of packaging. Save your packaging. I'm telling you, they make, because they're nice and stiff, and oh, I love them. That's my favorite thing to use. This is a Project Life card that's been sandwiched in here, and then there's a small one there because it automatically has the writing on there, which I think is, you know, I like that. So anyway, all right, I wanted to do in the front, I do these little library cards. Usually I put them in there and then put "this book belongs to," and I want to do that, but I don't just put it in there plain, so I'm going to put that here. So I want to decorate that up a little bit, so why don't we work on that. I'm going to keep trying to put my book up as we're doing this because I don't have enough room without that. So okay, let's put that back in my snippet. I might as well just leave the top off because I'm going to have a lot of stuff. Oh, you know one thing, guys, I had to get some new distress ink, you know, the refill. And I was sitting there going, boy, it just seems like I'm going through that ink, and that pad gets dried out so often. And so I had remembered, I cannot remember, I think it was the Frugal Crafter, I'm pretty sure that was her, where she said to, you know, to get your ink pads that you haven't used all the ink, okay, but they're dried out, this, you know, to put some glycerin on there, put some drops of glycerin. So I did that, and lo and behold, my, you know, ink pad, you know, the next day I came back and used it. I mean, it had tons of ink in there. And so I think that, you know how we're inking so much and we're using our vintage photo or walnut stain or whatever, we leave this top off a lot. At least I do. I mean, you know, I'm constantly inking things. So, you know, we're not necessarily, I mean, we do use a lot of ink, and you do need a reinker, but I'm thinking a lot of it it's just dried out. So that was a tip that I saw, and I did that, and it did make a huge difference, because it was definitely, here, I'm going to put this down here so I'm not inking on my mat. I usually, when I'm not with you guys, using my glass mat, because to me that is just wonderful. I love it. but I do know that it creates a lot of glare, and I have tried really hard to not have glare. Well, that's messy, but I'll live with it. We'll figure out a way to deal with it. And so, you know, I'm doing this for your benefit, but normally I would just use my glass mat, you know, because I love it. But we're going to do it this way so people can see better. Anyway, I can't believe how much ink was in there that, you know, I thought it was dry. Now, I did go back and put a little bit more ink on there, but for the most part, it was quite a bit that was already there. I probably wouldn't have even needed to re-ink it. I probably shouldn't have re-inked it because now I think there's too much ink in there, but I don't know. Like, see, that is really not the way I want it to look, but that's okay. Most of it's going to be covered up, so I think probably I'm going to do this a little bit more and kind of come in on the edges a little bit more. So anyway, that was a tip. And I had done it before on other ink pads, and I don't know why I wasn't thinking that. I was just thinking, well, I'm just using all of my ink, you know, because we distress so many things. But I got to thinking about it. I thought, you know, I do leave this, like right now, this is open. And then that's another thing. I have stuck so many things in there by not closing it. I'm not saying not to close it. I'm just saying if you're like me and you leave it open, just like you leave the tops off your glue and stuff like that, it's not always more ink. It just needs the glycerin. And I just use a little dropper. And matter of fact, I think I used the old refill bottle, and let me see if I have it. I don't know if I have it close by. I put a little ribbon on it so that you would know. But anyway, I just filled this up with glycerin. This is the one that the used one, and then I just put a few drops on my pad and left it overnight, and the next day it was amazing. You know, plus that gets the ink that's already in there. So anyway, that's what I did. And you know, because see, like that. This is just, I didn't add any ink to this, guys. This is just what was already in there when you mix it with the glycerin. So that by itself will make it go a long way. But because I don't know about you, but the distress ink is expensive, and sometimes it's hard to come by. I've had a hard time getting it sometimes, so I don't know. You know, I think that's too thin. I'm sitting here inking it, and I'm probably going to need to back it, so that was probably a waste. Anyway, why don't we work on this part? Okay, this is a piece of our collage that we did, and it's been, you know, cut out obviously, and then it was gessoed a little bit, and I think I want to use that for here, but I kind of want to fancy up the corners a little bit. So let's see what I'm going to do. What do I have? Oh, I don't think I want that. Let me see what this does here. I'm going to use one of these edge punchers and maybe do the scallop. I use this all the time, you know. I didn't really ever think that I would use it. I bought it. I got it, you know, like, I don't remember, 40% off or something. And oh gosh, I use it all the time. So that is another, I mean, I do use a lot of my tools a lot. I do. So I don't know if it's just because I like tools, or I don't know. I do use them. So, and you know, my feeling on crafting, I think that didn't turn out right. Let me get that in there right. There we go. That's a little bit more round. And I had a video on this. This is my hobby. It's my therapy, and therapy is not cheap. So for me, I think I'm going to put that on there. No. Oh yeah, I was going to put a heart. Do I put it that way? Do I put it this way? How do I want to put this heart, people? Gosh, I wish y'all could just yell at me so I can know what I'm doing. No clue here. Then I think I'm going to back that with something because it still looks too plain to me. So let's see if that would look good on there. Here. I don't know if I want to just make it. Let me just see. I cannot make up my mind today. I'm having a horrible, this is probably a terrible time to turn on the camera. And when I'm in one of those, there's sometimes when I can do things and I'm just boom, 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 you know, and it just have no problem doing it. Other times, no. It just does not happen that way. And then, I don't know if we need more doily. Seems like we have enough doily on here. Let's see. And then I'm going to put this little cherub on there. Let's see if the music, oh, I like the music better. A lot of times when I pick out my music, I'm just looking for like more music or something on there. So I think I'm just going to do that. I'm going to try and make this decision quickly so I don't completely bore you guys to death, which I'm sure I probably already have by now. So anyway, this is what I do. I just kind of go through and where's my little teeny tiny brush? I love to use this brush for this reason right here. See, you just go like that. Because if you use this thing, it'll mess up your paper if it's kind of fragile, and this kind of is. I got these on Amazon. I think I got a whole set. It was like $6, and there's a ton of other brushes that I'll probably not use, but anyway, I didn't buy the expensive ones that a lot of people have. I just used the cheap ones, and I know now they sell them at the dollar store, so I don't know. I thought they were in a 2-pack. I'm not positive. Excuse me. Let me take a sip of coffee here. My allergies have been killing me the last few days. I don't know if any of y'all have watched my other videos, but my voice sounded kind of raspy, and it's just been tough. I pretty much have allergies year round. So I live in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and a lot of people have allergies here. And oh my gosh, it's just, ugh. We lived in Colorado for like 5 years, and I had like no allergies there. It was wonderful. Also in Arizona, we didn't have any I didn't have any allergies, so I don't know. It is nice to not have to worry about having, and if you have them bad, boy, it can just, ugh. I realize it's not a cold or the flu or something, but you can feel really pretty crummy. Okay, so put that on. And this thing is very stiff. I'm going to put that on. I just wonder, do I want to put some fiber behind that? It just needs something, doesn't it, people? It just needs something. Got this heart. I don't know. Y'all, you need to shout at me, because I have no idea. Ew, I kind of like that. I'm going to try that and see. I'm going to try that and see. Cause see, this will be on the page, and I can glue the ends down. I'm going to do that. Well, thanks for helping me out and let me know what I need to put. I could hear you. Anyway, this is kind of what I do. My desk is a disaster. I have stuff everywhere, and I just get everything out. And remember, I had told you that I'll have like little baskets of stuff I think I might use next to me. Obviously, I have so much stuff I couldn't get it all out, but you know, and even with the stuff that I put out, something will come to me and I'll think, wait, I need to go get this or get that, and you know, that's kind of how I do it. So nothing earth-shattering, and I'm sure that there's probably a lot of other crafters out there that do it better than I do. But people have asked me how I do it, and I hear all the time, how did you come up with that? Or I have no idea. It just comes to me, and this, y'all are watching. This is how it comes to me. It just comes to me. And like I said, a lot of stuff that I do, I'm sure everybody else has done. I don't know how many times, but it's just, I'm sure all this information is in my brain, and it just, at the time when I need it, it just kind of pops out, and I piecemeal it all together, and I come up with something. So, okay, I think that's what I'm going to do. I think I like that. All right, so let's get our book, our journal here. Let me look at our time and see where we're at. Okay, we got a little bit of time left. All right, let's do that. You can see why everything takes me so long, because I cannot make up my mind. I hope I didn't do most of this out of frame, guys, because I'm just so bad. I'm just used to doing it all on my own, not having to worry, take people along for the ride. So excuse me if I did, and I will definitely try and get better at it. I am not good at, you know, crafting with y'all, so I'll get better at it, I hope. Either that or quit doing it. Okay, so I think I'm going to put that about right here. I think I can live with that. Try not to have extra glue there. What did I do with my wipe that I had out? I thought I had a wipe. See, now, I was going to show you, I put my book down like this. I have left the top off of my distress ink, and something will land in that so many times, I can't even tell you. So, I'm sure at some point, if you watch me, you will see me do that. It's just a really bad habit, not putting the top on. Not a smart thing to do. Okay, so I'm going to put, see, I hate when you start getting to the bottom on these big bottles, because then you got to leave it upside down. I do have a jar on my desk, like a, well, it's not really a jar actually. It's this thing. And what is this? That's from Red Lobster. I don't know, they gave it to us. We went out to eat one time, and I went, you know, like I guess a commemorative Red Lobster thing, and I thought, wow, what am I going to do with that? So I put my glue in there upside down while I'm working. I don't leave it there overnight, because if you ever do that on this either fabric tack or whatever, it will kind of explode inside that bottle. And I'll even do it if you leave it for too long. But I leave it like that, and then just upside down on my desk. But I have that jar, because if it does start to seep out, which it has before, because I have a little craft caddy next to my desk, it can make a really big mess. Oh, I'm just loving that part there. I think that turned out good. I'll find my wipe. So, I'm so glad that y'all were yelling at me. Feel free to leave comments about how I can do things better, because trust me, I am not an expert on anything. So, like I said, I just started this little venture of doing stuff just because I just had so many people asking me, oh, can you do classes? Can you do this and do that? And I don't know if I want to commit myself to that necessarily, although I'll have to say this YouTube thing's a lot more of a commitment than I thought it was going to be. But I thought it would be just, oh, turn on the, well, I am doing that today, but you know, just turn on the camera and record, and no big deal. I'm like, yeah, well, it's a lot more than that. It's a big commitment. So, not sure how long I'm going to do it, but maybe as I get better at it, it will not be so time consuming, but it is very time consuming. Very time consuming. So I do hope that people are getting some benefit out of it. So at least for me, I can get some videos out there so that my friends that have been trying to pick my brain can watch them. And gosh, if they don't even watch them, I'm really in bad shape. But I had one of my friends saying something about one of my videos, and I said, well, you haven't subscribed yet. And she's like, oh. And I said, yeah. I mean, you know, she's one of the people that was asking me to do it. I'm like, you need to subscribe and have comments. And anyway, that was kind of funny. But I had no idea she was even watching them, which has kind of bothered me because I thought, well, you were one of the people that wanted me to do it. So, you know. Anyway, I have had quite a few new subscribers, and I first of all, I'm bewildered that you would want to watch me, but thank you for subscribing, and you know, you can kind of come along this road with me, and feel free to comment, and I don't mind negative comments as long as they're constructive. I don't, you know, trust me, I've played back some of my videos, and I cringe. I really do cringe. I mean, they are so bad. But I'm leaving them out there because the gist of the information is probably still okay. And like I said, I'm actually trying to do myself a favor. So I got this little cherub sticker. I'm going to put that guy right... Oh, wait, his feet are hanging off. Get off of there. Hold on. I don't want his feet off. Okay, let's move him more this way so his feet are not hanging off. Okay, that is it. I'm very happy with that. Very happy. Just got to make the card to go in there. I probably will put the library card in there, but you could put other... Well, that's really too big for that. We'll have to figure out something. What did I do with that card? Oh, here it is. Found it. Yeah, that'll go in there. I have to decorate that a little bit. And I'm not even sure I'm going to use that one. I may do something else. I may come back to that. I'm just going to leave that there for now. But I love that. I think that turned out cute. Okay. She just adores her own work. So, which is sad, but... Well, you know what? If you didn't like what you were doing, then you wouldn't be doing it. So, you know, it's good for you to be proud of what you do. And, you know, I made my recent envelope journal and my travel journal mainly to address my friends that are like, what do you do with the junk journal? I wanted them to have a specific purpose because I've heard it so much, and I'm like, okay, listen, you can do things with it. So, okay, I think on this, oh, definitely need to cut a piece of this off because I'm dragging the whole thing with me. Oh, I love this lace here. Okay, I think I'm going to put, which way is the right way? I guess that's the right way. I think I'm going to put that, it covers all that up though. See, this is what I hate about this. Ugh. I wonder if I do that up here. I kind of wanted to mimic the little fence here. That's what I was trying to do, but I think I'm just going to do that anyway. You can kind of see stuff through there. All I'm going to do on this is just a wide piece of lace, and I'm going to put that here. I was going to make like an L-shaped pocket, and I may still do that. But I think I'm going to do an L shape somewhere else in the book or in the journal. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to put it right there. And it does kind of cover some of this up, but that's okay because we'll put a tag in there and it'll be, you know, very decorative. See, this is kind of where I put my big tags and stuff. But it needs to be deep enough to hold that in there. That presents a little bit of a problem. Maybe I should make this like a belly band or something. Yeah, maybe that's what we're going to do. But I won't use this lace then. I'm going to use something else. I'm going to use something else. Yeah. That's what I'm going to do. Okay. See? Just when you think you know what you're going to do. Alright, so these are 6 inches. So I'm thinking, where did my page go? Yeah, that's 6 inches. So we're going to do it. This is 5.5 and a little less than. So 5 1/4 is what I need to cut that piece. And I think the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to actually put paper down, and then I wonder which one I might use. I might be able to use one of these. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Maybe I'll use this. Let's see. It's the first page. I don't know how I keep losing it. Do I want to use this? I think I like that better. Okay, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to do it, did I say 5.5? When you're doing your belly bands and your pockets and things, you don't want to go all the way to the edge there, because what'll happen, it'll get too bulky in the middle, and also too it'll curl the end right there on your page. So you want to go out from there just a tiny bit. And rather than measure, which is, I don't measure very often, so I don't know why I just did that. I'm just showing off, I guess. I will put this here. So you just want to have that little gap right there, and I don't want it to go past this lace. So I'm just going to go right there. And I am going to live very dangerously. I think I'm going to fold it. And then this is fairly thick cardstock, so, well, you know, actually, because I want to cut it thinner too. Where's my little trimmer? I got to get this out of the way because I don't have enough room to do this and show you guys and cut. And that's another thing when you're doing this stuff and doing a video. You have to change how you do things because you're trying to get everything on screen in a very small little spot. And I'm not complaining, I'm just saying, for all the critics out there, that it's not as easy as it looks. So, and there aren't that many critics, so I'm not gonna make it sound like that there are. And that is amazingly crooked. Okay, what happened? Okay, we probably didn't want it starting out all that straight. Here we go. Let's try that again. Boy, oh boy. Let me do that. Okay, so let's see. I may have to start over because this may be just so messed up that it's not redeemable. It's going to end up being too thin. All right. And then it's still really crooked. Oh, you know, I don't know if it's crooked. I think what the deal is that this diamond shape, it's just an optical illusion. So I'm going to put that in there. There we go. Okay. Anyway, so then I'm going to take that. I don't know if this thinner piece would work better. What I'm trying to do is I want to put this lace over it, and I just want it as kind of a backing. I don't want it to be, you know, I'm not trying to have that paper there. So let me make sure this fits first before I go through all the trouble of doing it. Yep, that's about right. Okay, so we're going to do that. Now here's the thing with this piece of lace. This is my lace that I got with my, when I bought my cards that I did the other day. I mean, honestly, there were 25 cards, and each card came with a piece of lace like this. And so you had 25 cards, 25 envelopes, and they were, I mean, heavy duty linen envelopes, and you got the RSVP cards and the regular big cards with it, and 25 pieces of lace, and one box was $1.99 and one was $2.99. They're two different styles of envelopes, but oh my gosh, you can't beat that. So, and I got that at Hobby Lobby. So when you go to your craft store and stuff, and it wasn't in the craft aisle, it was, I think it was just in the clearance section or something. Just make sure you kind of go there and check and try and think of, I mean, I didn't need wedding invitations for anything, but I just saw those and thought, boy, just the lace alone was worth that much. But I wasn't thinking about making an envelope journal at the time. But by the way, what I'm doing is this is very white lace, and I don't want super white lace. I don't mind having like different shades of lace in there, but I don't like some that look vintage and then some that look brand new. And try and get them to, coordinate a little bit. Now you can dye your laces, even your nylon ones. It doesn't have to be cotton. On your nylon ones, you can just use an alcohol ink. Like I have my alcohol ink solution that I told you I use all the time to like quickly, coffee dye papers and stuff. And that would work on this, because alcohol ink will stick to the nylon, and it works really, really well. And you just spray some. I put it on my glass mat, spray some, smush it in there, get it all around, and then it'll change the whole color. But I'm not really looking to do that because I do have other white stuff in there. I'm just using my vintage photo and my little pouncer that doesn't do it. If you use your dauber on it, it'll I mean really change it. So this works a little bit more. So I'm going to do that on the edges a little bit. I'm not really trying to make it look dirty. I'm just trying to make it look a little vintage, just a little. Like it's been around for a while. Okay, so that's probably enough there. I hope this is the piece that yeah, it is. So I'm just going to take this, and I always do it a little bit bigger. Like I said, I want the piece of paper to be smaller. Just do that. And put that on there. So put that there, and I guess that's the right way. Kind of sort of centered in there. I'm going to cut that off. Like I said, folks, nothing earth-shattering here, so if you haven't already left, I suggest you do it if you're bored, because it's not going to get probably better. And I think we got about, let's see, about 10 more minutes. And then hopefully I can get a little bit more done than I have. Kind of depressing. Alright, so here we go. This is going to go right here. And so we still have this here showing. I think I like that. That's actually a better idea. See how things kind of, you'll have an idea, and then all of a sudden you'll go, wait, I think I thought of something better here. And it's surprising how that happens, and you think it through, and that is my process. And I think that's probably a lot of people's process. So this is not rocket science here, and it's, you know, like I said, it's all personal preference too. As far as I know, I mean, maybe there are, but I don't think there are junk journal police out there that are going to tell you did it wrong. I mean, I'm on several Facebook groups, and I see every kind of journal imaginable, every kind. And that's another thing. You're going to do journals and do different journals, nature journals, shabby journals, you know, quick journals, journals that take forever. You're going to, you know, feel around if you're new and decide what kind of journal you like to do and your style. And for me, I kind of like the shabby thing. Partly because I know that you can hide a lot of flaws with it, but I just like the look. And that's kind of my thing. But there are so many different styles out there. And also, too, every once in a while, I'll get tired of doing the same thing. So I'll just go and, you know, I'll do something different. Just to do it different. And I will have maybe 2 or 3 journals going at a time. And if I get tired of working in one, I'll go to the next one. Somebody asked me, too, if I sell my journals. And I really have not sold that many just because I just don't. But I do have, and the reason I don't is that I've given most of mine away. I did sell, I think it was like 11 journals at Christmas time. And I wasn't trying to sell them. What happened is people saw some journals that I was doing and working on, and they asked me to make them for them, so I did. And that's part of the reason I don't sell journals, is because I was working day and night to get all those journals done at Christmas time when all this stuff was going on, and it just about killed me. So, you know, and, you know, I had promised to do them, so these were going to be Christmas presents for people and their grandkids, and, you know, I couldn't really not do them. So, see, look at that. Isn't that cute? And see, this has that little gem there that'll kind of keep it from, I really should let that dry more. But anyway, that's kind of how it's going to look. How about that? It's like a little peekaboo. There we go. So that is the next page. So we've won 1, 2, 3. That's not bad. Not bad. I'm not sure I'm going to put any. This keeps falling out. I got to get that in there better. Figure out a way to keep that in there. Oh, there we go. It's got to go to the back. I didn't have it in there all the way. All right. Let's see. Do we have time to do one more? I do not know. Let's see. What other thing could we do together right now that would be fun and different, that won't take forever? I'm thinking in my head that won't take me forever. Oh, here's one. How about this? Okay, so I wanted to make this a tuck. I fussy cut here, and see I have a paper clip on the other edge because, yeah, see I put something else over here. We'll do something else on that page. I'll take the paper clip off of there. But I think what I'm going to do, this is what I fussy cut out of one of the pieces of paper of our cardstock that went with that pack. And I'm going to put that here and just make that a tuck, because I thought that we could be kind of pretty and then add stuff to it. So this is not earth-shattering. I may just do a little bit more fussy cutting up here. I didn't do a great job with it, but this was one of those, you know, oh, that's pretty. I'm going to cut it out. And a lot of you probably already know this, but the people who have not done fussy cutting, you don't move your scissor, you move the piece of paper. And the first time I saw that, and I had been fussy cutting for a while, the first time I did that. It was like earth-shattering because it makes such a huge difference. Huge, huge, huge difference. Makes it so much easier. And the other thing is you're not trying to cut, or at least I'm not exactly, because it'd be kind of hard to do that. What you're trying to do is just kind of, you know, round where you're cutting. Like, see, this is just going around this fence, and I think it just looks better when you don't have any sharp edges when you're doing it. So that's kind of how I like to do it. But like I said, everybody has a different way of doing things. So I'll just take my paper and go in and out. And I actually find fussy cutting kind of relaxing for me. And I will get a whole bunch of stuff that I need to fussy cut, and I'll have it in one of my little clear envelopes, and you know, and just sit there and cut while I'm watching television or something, you know, because I do need to spend some time with my husband occasionally. But and I'll do that, and you can get a lot done. You'd be surprised in a very short period of time, and I find it relaxing. So my husband was wanting to get me something for Christmas, and my birthday is right after. It's in January. It's January 7th, and so he buys me usually kind of an expensive combo gift, or you know, he'll just ask me what I want. And for a while there I was thinking I was going to get a scanning cut, and because I thought, well gosh, you know, that would really save me so much time, da 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 da. And then one night, I don't know what we were watching, but I was sitting there, you know, fussy cutting some things out. And see, I'm going to have to cut that little rose off right there, or I would have to cut that. Why don't I cut that a little bit? Anyway, I found it kind of relaxing, and I said, you know, I don't really want to spend that kind of money on something like that, because do it this way, that way I can cut it straight, huh? Just gonna do that right there. And so I kind of decided not to do that. I don't think I cut it enough. That's what I was afraid of. Cut it again. But so I kind of talked myself out of it, because you know, I may change my mind, but for me, I just can find it relaxing. Just like I find collage relaxing. Because I don't stress about it being perfect or whatever, because I really have made a mess, and it still ended up usable anyway. So, alright, so I'm going to put that in there. So this was just cut out of one of the pieces that we had. So, you know, you need to realize that just your paper pack alone, there's probably things in there. Now this is pretty thick, so I don't think I'm going to back it on anything. I think that'll be thick enough. So I'm just going to put that in, and what I'm going to do is put glue here and glue there, nowhere else, so that way you have a tuck spot. If it wasn't thick enough, then you can glue this to, you know, manila folder or something, and then put that in there. But this I think is pretty thick, so we're going to do that. And of course that's not going to be enough. I have to do more things to it, but this is the start. Anyway, I know I've been rambling on and probably haven't shown anybody anything new, but this is the answer. You know, I think, do I want to have that open on that side? Yeah, I do. I want that open, because I want to kind of put a big tag in there. Alright. And I am not sure what I'm going to put in there. Let me see. Let me see what I got. Okay. It's a good thing y'all cannot see the rest of this room, because it is shockingly a mess. So let that dry a little bit. And I think there, what I may do is a kind of a little cluster. Just a cluster of that. Now, see, I don't want to cover that up again. Maybe I just do, I don't know. I want something there. I just do because, you know, I have to. That's just how I roll. So I think I'm just going to put a little piece of lace. And it would have to go around there. Okay, I'm just going to do that. And I'll probably come back to it and add stuff later because I can't tell you why. Just because. And you know, guys, we're going to do snippets and at some point, and I know a lot of you already know how to do that, but for those of the people that don't, they are invaluable. You'll use them all over. And I do need to start doing some because my stack in my little jar is getting kind of big. But that is another day. So I'm going to just put that right there just to give it a little something, because this fence part just seems kind of blah, and you can still see all the other roses. You know, and this kind of journal may not even be something that you like doing, but you can adapt all of this to whatever your style is. So, you know, I'm just saying this is my process. I have done journals where I've decorated all the pages and put them in. And I did that at Christmas because I basically ended up having to do everything assembly line. So, I don't know. Let's see if maybe I put that there. Would that look good? No, maybe. Maybe. Let's see. What else do I have that would look good there? I have so much stuff. Ooh, I know. Oh my gosh, my whole thing just fell over. Hold on. I can never find the ends of things. Well, it's because it's a disaster. I think we'll do that. Oh, that'll be cute. I think that would work. So let's do that. There's enough glue still on there. I can do that and go back in. Okay. I think I've convinced myself. All right. So, done deal. Okay, I'm gonna have to, oh, look, see, my glue is sipping out. So now I'm gonna have to, might as well use it. Okay. I think that turned out really cute. What if we take one of our really big tags? Ooh, and put that in there. Yep. Yep. See? Maybe this one might be a little bit better. I don't know. No, I think that would work. See, kind of holds it in on the side a little. Or we can maybe this one. I don't know. I don't think that one goes with it as well. Anyway, that is kind of a wrap, I think, for me. I hope that y'all got something out of this. That was a little productive for me. And hopefully you saw a little bit of my process. We did that. We did this and that and that. So we got a few things done. Anyway, thank you for joining me. And if you get some value out of this, please like and subscribe. Y'all have a good day.